the four people waiting.
Okay, looks like we are live. I'm not sure. Just waiting for my face on YouTube. Started the streaming on the streaming server. Waiting, still waiting. I think we have to manually start the streaming from YouTube. But can you hear me? Streaming started?
Yes.
On the streaming server? Why does it echo? Does it still echo?
Yes.
That's weird. Why there's an echo? Let me hear myself. I think the wrong mic is selected. Mic is correct.
Yes.
Capture properties.
So
So we are doing live for a long time, so expect the glitches for today. And on YouTube as well, let me know if I'm properly audible. Oh, there's an echo. Sound bad. Okay, we have not changed any sound settings. This is weird. The mic is correct. Okay, I think it's speaking from multiple sources. This source is connected properly. There is an input stream coming from my external camera.
Okay, how about now?
Okay, how about now?
Is it proper?
Is it proper?
I think that should be
too
too
much equal now because there are two.
No, there's not the problem
No,
of
there is not the
isolation.
problem of isolation.
I think the input is coming from two different places. And now I did some settings because of which there should not be an echo.
Okay, how about now?
Yeah, there are two voices which I can hear back.
Too much equal now because there are two. No, there is not the problem of isolation. I think the input is coming from two different places. And now I did some settings because of which there should not be an echo.
Okay, there's a constant. How about now? Hush. There's still two voice or so again, so we are spending few extra minutes just for making sure that my audio is proper. Is it one voice or two voice now? Only one? Is there echo? Surrounding noise? Headphones, it is clear. Okay, perfect. So I will remember these settings next time as well. Okay, so let me tell you what happened. There's no echo because of the room, because it's a studio room which we have built. The echo is coming because we are using OBS after a long time. So we are using OBS, I think, after 2 years now. So we were using different streaming service before, and I keep changing my machine from Windows to Mac, depending upon the course. If there's a course which requires a Windows machine to record properly, we go for Windows. If there's a requirement for Mac, we do that. And while switching, there are different softwares which supports this. And I realize OBS supports everything. So Why not OBS? Okay, so we went back to OBS and we don't have to pay for the streaming service now. And I'll make one more change before we continue. Harsh, can you help me with the chair, please? We did everything except one thing. Harsh, chair. Chair. So this is not my recording chair. This is what I use for working. But when I record, I have to use an extra chair, which is good for my height. And this is what is different when you record videos and when you go live. In recording, basically, uh, yeah. So when you record, basically, you use you can redo the same things and things works out. But live, everything is live. If you're messing up, you're doing it live. Okay. There's still echo. That's what I can hear from people.
Yeah, so when you record, basically you use.
There's still echo. But I think this echo is manageable, right? Huh? Okay. So I'm again changing some settings. So today's session is supposed to be named as testing the audio setup or video or the live setup. How about now? Looks good? Testing. Okay, perfect. So let's get started. So good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Why I'm saying all is because people are watching from different places. And I would love to know from where you are attending this session. My voice is low. Okay, what's wrong with this setup today? Hello. Uh, Video setup looks only single mic, single setup. Okay, give me few extra minutes, everyone, just to make sure that there's no extra audio source which is coming, because this is happening because of extra audio source. I disabled it, the extra audio source, but still it says there is. Okay, buffering input. Everything looks good. Microphone is this. How about if why there's an audio output? Okay, I think now I know what's the issue. Give me a second, everyone. Okay, let's test with this.
Okay, I think now I know what's the issue. Give me a second, everyone.
I'm just hearing myself.
Okay, let's test with this. I think now I know what's the issue. Give me a second, everyone. I'm just hearing myself.
Not good. Okay. So my original one. What's the issue? I'm not able to guess. What could be the issue? How about this? I'm changing my scenes. It should pick up different. Is it good? Okay, so what is different between my face and my screen? Okay, so what I will do is I will stick to this and I will keep my website open so that you can see something while I'm talking to you. Okay, so I hope this is better because that's what I got to know from the team and on YouTube. Okay, so let's continue with this. So we are doing a live after a long time, and this time what we are going to do is, sometimes you have to motivate people to learn something, and that's what we are doing now. Uh, in this particular live, okay, audio up. Okay, I should scale up myself. Okay. Yeah. So what I was saying is, I was saying something. I have this Gajni issue, not with the hairstyle, but I lose my track when I get disturbed in between. So yeah, so in today's session, basically we are going to talk about Spring AI. So we are going to teach you Spring AI, not entirely because it's a huge topic. So we'll talk about certain things, why Spring AI is important. Because see, we are living in the world of AI where everyone talks about AI. Initially it was a hype, but now if you see, the companies are using AI in different ways. So they're using AI to lay off people. Okay, no, that's not the point. They're using AI to increase their. Okay, let's take it this way. If we talk about an individual like me, if I am a developer, if I want to build something, I can use AI in two ways. One, to increase my productivity, and two, to use existing AI features which is provided by all these models and enhance my application. And trust me, these two things are very important, your speed and the capability you can add to your applications. And this is possible if you start using AI. Now, of course, you might have increased your productivity by using different AI tools. Example, let's say if you want to uh, if you get stuck somewhere, in the earlier days, we used to take help of uh, Stack Overflow. But now, if you get stuck somewhere, you'll just copy the error, go to ChatGPT or Gemini, and then you will paste your problems there. And it will help you with the solutions. And of course, you have to manually do that. But now if you see day by day, things are changing. In the IDE itself, you get all this AI feature. Example, let's say if we talk about VS Code, we got GitHub Copilot there. If we talk about IntelliJ IDEA, which I use every day, they have their own AI assistant, or you can integrate other AI assistants in that IDE. Now it helps you to speed up your process. So if you get stuck somewhere, if you see the error, there's a button there, explain with AI. So it will help you to solve the problem. It will help you to speed up your process. Second, if you're building an application, let's say we are, for the course, basically we are building this e-commerce application, which we will show you in some time. And should I do that, Heather? Okay. I can see Heather is not there. But we'll show you the e-commerce application where we build that to show our developer or the learners how to build a e-commerce application using Spring and stuff. But when you add a product, so in fact, should I show you that? Is there? Okay, so we already have that, and I will show you, I hope that the current project which is open. And let me show you what we are talking about. Okay. So this is a project which is running, and then if I open the UI for this, I hope the front end is also running. Front end is running, great. And if I open that now, you should be able to see that here. Okay, so this is the e-commerce page we have simply built just to explain. And if you see here, when I click on the add a product, so I'm a bit lazy, okay? So if I want to add a product, I will just add a name to it, I will add a brand to it, and then I will select it's a laptop. Now, description is something which I have to fill every time. So every time I upload a video on YouTube, I have to basically add a description. If I upload a course on, let's say, on another platform, I have to add a description, which takes more time than making a video. And I always wanted something like this where AI will generate the description for me. So we have done that here. Otherwise, you have to manually type the description. But now you can take the help of AI to generate the description for you. And of course, you can change it if you want. Let's say it says long-lasting battery. I will say not so long-lasting. Okay, whatever you want to add. Okay, so you can change it, and then you can enter the price. Okay, that's a bit cheap. Then let's say we have one quantity. I'm just adding a date, which is this. And then the image. Now, of course, one way you can take the photo of your product and you can add it here. Otherwise, you can be a bit creative. You can ask AI to generate the image, because if you get from the stocks, you will get copyright claims. AI says, let me handle the copyright stuff because we have already copied, okay, maybe wrong word in the live session, but you know what I'm talking about. At least you don't have to worry about the copyright because it's generated by AI. So taking some time to generate, because image generation takes time by the models. We are using OpenAI GPT-4o for this. And this is the image which you got, and you can use this image. The only problem is customers will not be happy, because when they buy the product like this, they expect it will look like this, but they will get something else. And anyway, we are doing that everywhere, on Instagram, on different e-commerce website. When I click on submit, you can see we got the product. So this is how you can use AI. I mean, not just this. Maybe if you add this product and if you check out this product from the cart, and now let's say as a user, I want to know about my order status. There should be a chatbot here, and not the manual chatbot. There should be an automated chatbot where you're talking to AI to get your details about your product. What else we can have? We can have a chatbot where it will give you suggestions. Because recently we are buying, let's say if you want to buy a laptop, it's a very confusing thing, because most of the laptops look same, they have the same features, and then you're confused which one is good for you. And normally you ask people to answer that, and they have their own suggestions. But now we can have AI doing that for you, helping you to select the best product and not being biased. Maybe, of course, as a developer of this application, I can take money from different companies and I can ask my chatbot to promote a particular product more. That's how you earn more commission on the e-commerce website. But anyway, the point is, this is how you can use AI in your application. So how do we do this? Now, when AI came, we exposed with AI with ChatGPT, and then it skyrocketed everything. Other companies started doing the same thing, what ChatGPT is doing. But now if you see, these models can be used by your application. You don't have to build your own model. You can't basically compete with the existing huge models as an individual. Of course, if you are a big firm, if you have multiple people, you can do that. But individually, you don't think about making a new model. What you focused on, okay, we got our models there. How can we use it to increase the capability of your software? Now, this is where you need to have that connect between your application and AI model. And in Java, and I was a bit scared with Java because Java moves a bit slow. They don't include everything in the market. It's because Java believe that they need to have a stable ecosystem because it is used in the enterprises and they don't want risky stuff. But this time they came up with Spring AI very quickly, is because it's stable, and I mean recently it became stable. You can now use it. So in today's session, we are going to have this session on Spring AI, not everything, the basics and what you can do. We're not going to explain everything. This is more of a demo of Spring AI. And based on that demo, we are going to have a quiz. Now, why we have a quiz session was enough. It's just that to make sure that you understand, you focus, because nowadays people are not focusing stuff. It's more about getting the details in 15 seconds. But now we want to make sure that you sit there, you understand the concept, and then play a quiz. And if you win, we got prizes. You can check out the prizes in the description. So yeah, that's what you're going to do. So we're going to start this session in next 3 minutes. So there's a small break, and by the time we are doing that, we'll also check what is wrong with the audio setup, if we see that. Okay, so let's start the session in next 3 minutes. Okay, we are back, and I'm sure, okay, nothing changed. We just moved from one scene to the scene. Cool. So let's get started. So you know the plan now. We are going to talk about something for some time, and then after that we'll have a quiz. And there's a winning prize as well, and you can see the winning prize in the description. And cool. So let me introduce you to the trainer who is going to talk about Spring AI. So we got Heather Abbas. You might have seen him before on this channel. You can show your face somewhere here, Heather. Okay, now that's Heather Abbas, and he's going to talk about Spring AI. And you can introduce yourself, right? You can talk about your experience. So over to you, Heather, and I'm moving away from here now.
All right, guys, warm wishes to all present in the class today from the different locations. And thank you, Naveen sir, for the opportunity. I've been in this channel for many times earlier. If you are a regular to the lives of Telescope, I mean, if you have been into earlier live sessions from the Telescope, you might have seen me. I've taken so many sessions here. Okay. And today we are going to talk on one of the most interesting and very important module which is introduced in the Spring framework for the Spring Boot applications, Spring framework applications, which is Spring AI. Okay, very important module they have added. There are so many things here in the Spring AI. To work with the LLMs, to work with the RAG, retrieval augmented generation. Okay, so many options are there. You can work with audio, you can work with the image, you can work with the text, you can work with the external sources and APIs using the RAG. Many things can be implemented, and we have a limited time here. One of the feature is what we are going to explore with respect to coding in today's session, after which you'll be having one quiz related to what we have coded, and based on that the prizes also would be announced. Fine. Right. Now what we are going to implement here is, I hope you have seen the application. Okay, let me just go here. All right, if I have to follow this link. Okay. All right, this is the application, right? And that's what we have followed here. And if I just click on add the product, we can add the generate with AI. That's just a text generation, and behind the scene based on the prompt, we have used the prompt template. It's a very vast concept, yet very important. We will be focusing on the image generation based on the product name, product category, and based on the description of that image. Behind the scene, we will be creating one image prompt. Based on that, we will be reaching to the LLMs we have. And in this session, we are going to use the Open AI. For that image generation, we have DALL-E. That's what we are going to use. And based on this, image is getting generated. And how this image is getting generated, that will be our focus of this session. Example today, if I just add here maybe a smartphone, right? That's the product. And if I have to go here, enter the brand, any brand of your own choice, that there shouldn't be a problem. I'll just randomly enter the brand. Okay, just randomly I'm entering this. There is no favorite or something as such. We are just going for the mobile, and then of course you have seen generate with AI. We are getting this. For this also, behind the scene, Spring AI is only implemented, and maybe in future we will just talk on this. Now maybe I'll just enter some random pricing, and maybe how much of the stock, and today only it is released. And based on this content behind the scene, if I click on generate with AI, one image is getting generated. Okay, this part how exactly is happening for a Spring Boot application. Look at this application from the perspective of being an end user of the application. You'll not be caring whether Spring AI is used or what. This application is there, and as a user of this application, you could able to get this, right? So you could able to get the content, you could able to get this image, and that's what we may have to see how. Now in industry, there are so many projects which uses Java and Spring Boot. Java applications based on the Spring Boot framework, based on the Spring framework, there are n number of projects have been built, and now it's time to see how we can add the AI features which are right now currently trending in the world into our Java Spring Boot applications. Now to integrate the AI into our Spring Boot application, Spring Boot is a framework in order to develop the Java application easier in much more friendlier way, okay, just to make your life of application development with Java easy. Now to integrate the AI models, all the LLMs into our application, we have this amazing model called as Spring AI, okay. In that many things can be done, as we have discussed, even the Naveen sir has been discussed. We'll be focusing only on the image part in this particular session. Maybe going forward we can have more detailed session as well. Fine. Now if I have to go back to the ID, this is what the application I have right now. I would like to just stop this application. It's done. We have seen this, okay. It's like whatever we are going to develop right now, we will be seeing from the by using the tools, Postman tool or Insomnia REST client tools, just to check our APIs whether they are responding or not. Now to that, what we are going to develop, if you want to give a life, a realistic life, then the front end has to be added. And for whatever we are developing, if you want to see how it looks like, that demonstration has already been shown in this application. Now we will get into the mode of developers. For developers, we will be focusing more on the actual backend logic. And to understand this session, I'll make an assumption that people who are watching this, they might know Java, they might know Spring. By chance, if you're not be knowing any Java, if you don't know Java or Spring Boot, no problem. You can just understand the ecosystem. Don't worry about the syntax, don't worry about the code. Irrespective, as and when you change the programming languages or frameworks, the way you develop the application, the syntax you use for the application development might change, okay. So if you know Java Spring Boot well and good, you'll understand the complete implementation of it. By chance, if you don't know Java Spring Boot, just understand the ecosystem, just see how this development is happening here. Fine, everyone, all of you. I hope I can get some response from all the active. Quickly after this session, quickly only small models what we may have to implement here, right. Now guys, to use this, I'll just go here and develop a new project. I'll say new one project. Name of the project could be anything. Maybe I'll say here Java image generation application, okay. It's a Java, maybe Maven is a tool which we are going to use, all right. And let it be Java, okay. I have used the same, I guess. Yes, let's keep this and I'll go to the next. And here I want to add the Spring Web. That's the most important to build any API that's required. And then we are also going to develop the Open API. Open API is what we are going to use here. There are so many other LLMs available in the market. In this class, I would like to go with the Open API. There are others, other also, okay. I'll just go with all right, Open AI, okay. And even if you just search in general AI, you don't have a separate only AI, okay. If you just search AI, you're not getting any options here. If you under the family of AI section, you have many. You can go with Anthropic, Cloudy, Azure Open, AI, Azure AI Search, Amazon Bedrock. So many options are there here. You can see here, okay. Mistral AI, Olama is also there. And out of all the options we have, I would like to just go with this Open AI, okay. You could choose any other also. And now I'll just go and say here click, okay, a new project. This window you want to go with, maybe I would like to create this project in this particular window itself, okay. All right, let's close this. Let me just get it here. And the project is all right, okay. Close this. and the project is getting ready, guys. Okay, source main, and we have Java one application which is ready here. And if I have to check on to the pom.xml file, we do have the XML file available. Okay, I mean pom.xml, where all the right dependencies have been added which is required for us, right? Now one important thing is, whenever you would like to integrate any of the LLMs or any of the third party, you may have to add the key here, which is very important. Without the key, you should have an account. Whichever LLM you're using, you should create account of that particular LLM. You should generate one key, and that key you have to add here. Only then it will work. If not, anyone and everyone cannot just use the URL and start using this. It's not, we are not using the chat GPT, or we are not using Gemini. We are using the technology which is chat GPT is using behind the scene. Okay, so we just have to add that API directly, for which we should be requiring the key, and the key we may have to add here in the application.properties file. Okay, all right, let me just see if you could able to get this. All right, if I have to click on the projects. Okay, we had one more project here. All right, fine, I'll get this key, guys. Now if I have to go back here, I'll be creating layers, different layers here. Right click, let me create one more layer here. I'll say REST controller layer, wherein we'll create our resources. If you want, you can create one more layer wherein you can write the actual logic. Okay, that could also be done. And if you want, you can write the logic here also. Generally, those who are into development, they know we develop the application into different layers. We will have business layer, service layer, the repository layer, and the controller web layer. The API call, whatever code, just to take the request, process the request, and give the response back, we write in the web layer. And the actual logic of the application has to be written in the service layer. Okay, and right now by considering the time, I would like to, since it is a small API which we are developing, of yet very important API, I would like to write the logic within the same web layer itself. It is recommended to write the business logic into the service layer, but that's fine. People who are here to understand the actual code might know about the different layers of application, right? Now I would like to just go here and create a class. What is a resource class? That's what I may have to mention. Okay, yeah, I just go back and say maybe image generation controller, REST controller or controller. Okay, this is what we have created here, and I would like to just go back and use one annotation called as REST controller annotation. It is a REST resource. People can make a request, and if you have multiple controllers, then you can also do the class level mapping. You can use the request mapping and add. Right now in this application, we have only one controller wherein we will be creating two APIs. API number one should accept the prompt, should accept the query given by the end user. End user will say, please generate an image of so and so. Our API should receive that image, take that, form a prompt, send it to the LLM, and get this image and give back to the client, right? And one more API should receive the image as an input. Okay, and after receiving image as an input, it should able to describe that, to generate the image. As a Java developer, as a Spring Boot developer, we are not going to write a logic of image generation. We are going to write a logic of using the AI, using the LLMs in order to generate the image, in order to describe the image. Okay, yes, fine. All right, now guys, here is where we may have to create the resources. I'll be using two resources here. Number one, public. Okay, and maybe I'll just say here as a string. I'll say here generate one resource I'm creating, guys, image. Okay, generate the image, maybe I would just go back and say here generate image. Okay, generate image. and I would like to accept some input here. What is the input? We may have to accept the query, or you can say prompt, what my end user is entering. So it will be text based, what the usually end user enters. I'll just say string type of, maybe it could be query, it could be a text, anything. And let's accept this. You can accept this in the query parameter. You can accept this in the path parameter, up to you. Spring Boot developers knows it's a way to accepting the data from the client to the server in the URL. We have an option to go with query param or path param. If you go with the path parameter, then please go with path variable. If not, you can just go with the query param. If you are going with the query parameter, then you can just use a request. I'll say here request param. Okay, that's the annotation, and I have to pass the endpoint. Okay, here we have to write the logic. All right, and I would like to just go back, and let me just add here. You all know get mapping, and let's write the endpoint. Maybe the endpoint I would like to write here as, okay, this setup, this studio setup is little new to me for all the components to access. So let me just use in the same way. Okay, I'll go with API, and the endpoint, let's be, I'll say here generate image. Okay, that's the endpoint I have given, and here is where we have to write the actual logic. Now guys, in order to see, as I have told here, we are not going to write the actual logic. We are not going to write so many classes, so many methods which can generate the image. We are going to use the LLM. We have to integrate, for which one we have added the dependency, all the required files, the jar files we have added, the dependency, the library we have added, and Spring gives abstraction. There are a few classes and interfaces which are specific to the LLMs. You can use those classes, you can use those interfaces. There are few interfaces which are abstraction irrespective of the implementation. Irrespective of which LLM you are trying to make a call, you can use the same. One of which is, I'll say here private, and we do have here chat client. Okay, chat client. All right, chat, I'll say here client. Okay, I'll just say here, okay, I would like to just say here, okay. Okay. Let me just add the reference, the system and the keyboard I could not able to ask. Okay, yes, done. And one more, if you are going to work only with the, what do you say, yeah, very quickly we'll generate this. If you are only to get the chat based text, maybe if you are generating a description, right, for this only chat client would be sufficient. But right now we are going to work with the image also. Okay, for which we may have to work with it, right? So I'll just go back here and add one more component which we need in order to interact with one of the model of the Open AI, which is the DALL-E 3. Okay, to generate the image also I may have to use one more reference. If you are just generating the text based content from the LLM, chat client would be sufficient, and chat client is coming from the family of Spring AI. This same holds good even if you are integrating the AI models of different LLMs. Doesn't matter which one, not just AI, it could Open AI, it could be something else also. Okay, now I would like to just go here and be specific to, we have our own for the image generation, Open API's own also we can use here. Okay, which is, I'll just go back and say Open AI image model. Okay, Open AI image model. Okay, I'll just go back here and add this. Yes, right, done. Now for this implementation, you need not to worry. Implementation, you have added the dependency, that means all the implementation has been added here. if you just open this, right click, and if I just have to, open this content of this is the interface, and for this we have not given any implementation. These are the classes and interfaces. For this, implementation has to be there. Spring has already given the implementations. Those LLMs, they have already given the implementation. You just have to use. Either you can just add the, you can perform the dependency injection, you can use the auto wire annotation, or I can just create one constructor. Okay, I'll just say here public and create one constructor here. Let me just create one constructor. Okay, and I'll say here image generation controller, and I would like to just accept this, right? I'll just go back here at the top and accept this references we have here. Okay, let me just take this and add it. Okay, I would like to accept. And if you know the basics of core Java, if you have only one constructor here, then for the one who is going to create this bean, which is the Spring IOC container, Spring IOC container is the one which will create bean of this. At the time of bean creation, Spring IOC container have only one constructor available, so automatically it will just integrate here. Fine, I'll just give the reference here. That's done. And now I would like to just go and say here this dot I will say chat client equals to now whatever implementation we get here, that is what the implementation we may have to add here. Now you can be chat client and ask the implementation, or you can also write the implementation of the OpenAI model which could be used. See, chat client is not specific to only OpenAI, it is for all the models, right? Okay, you can just use this also, or in place of this I can just to say here OpenAI and chat model. We have this OpenAI chat model. This could be one of the implementation for the same, and this is what I'm just going to add here. I'll say here chat client, I'll say here dot create, and this is the reference I'm just going to pass. Okay, so whatever reference I'm going to get here, I'll say here chat model as a reference. This reference I'm just going to add here. Guys, we are working with only abstraction. Abstraction means the implementation has already been done. We have to use the predefined interfaces. We have to use the predefined classes which has been already been implemented. And right now we are using these classes. Going forward, as in when this is right now we have a Spring AI 1.0 version. As in when it grows, right, they are constantly updating the classes, the interfaces names might be different. Right now we are using these classes and these interfaces. Going forward, you might see some other interfaces or some other classes to implement the same concept. Because this is abstraction, the implementation has been already done. We just have to use this. Okay, and then again I would like just to say here, I will say yes. Okay, finish, done. So this implementation we have got. Now using this implementation only, we have to seek help from our LLMs. That's what we may have to do here. Fine, great. Now guys, I'll just need one Spring key here, because without the key I'll not be in a position to generate I will not be in a position to get connected to the LLMs. The key is needed. I don't have key here. Okay, let's take quick 2 minutes of break. Okay, after 2 minutes of break we'll just continue. The remaining part will not be that much. It will hardly take 10 minutes of time or less than 10 minutes of time to develop the remaining part of the code. Okay, let's add the key here and then continue after 2-3 minutes of a very short break. Alright guys, let's continue. I have added the required properties here. This is the most important property. The others, just to make sure that whatever file we are going to add to describe the image, it can be of any size. I have added these, all optional, depends on the type of input you are giving to your application. Okay, quickly I would like to continue the journey here, and this is the key. Okay, this should be your own key. If you create the account in the Open AI, you'll be able to generate the key here, and that's the key you have to add. Okay, which is the model which you're using, that we have specified here. Now let me quickly get back here to the code, and here I will just use here Open AI image model. Okay, let me just get into this. I'll say dot. Okay, and if I make a call, there is a method which is expecting me to pass the prompt, but the type of the prompt is not string type. Whatever my end user is passing, it is a string type of prompt. Okay, and whatever we may have to pass it to this method, it should be of image object. That means I have to create a object, a bean of image prompt, and then I have to pass it here. So let me just create here image prompt. Okay, that's what I may have to pass. So I'll just go here and create the instance of this. Okay, I'll just say here, all right, I'll just go with the image prompt. Okay, and equals to image prompt, and that's a query I have passed here. Now this bean will take care of converting your query, text based, string based query, into image prompt. That means it requires a specific type of prompt you have to add here in order to get a image, for which you need not to write any extra code, you need not to write any logic. You just have to use a predefined class, predefined bean, and just have to pass the string based query, which will give you a image prompt, and that is what I have added here. Fine now. All right, now whatever response we are giving to the client, that's a string base. That means we have to generate one link here. Okay, that's what we have passed, and I may have to add some extra a code here. Okay, what's the return type of this method? If I have to open, see here, if I just have to call this call, and the return type is image response. That's what we are going to get here. I'm just going to pass the image prompt here, and the return type which we are going to get is the image response. That means we will get the response from the LLM in the form of image response. Okay, let me just create a reference of this image response. Okay, and I'll just create a reference type. I'll say here image response. Let's go back here. Okay, I'll just say here image, and this is the what we are getting here. From this image response, I should actually get the link, the URL, which I can give it to my client. And whatever application you could able to see behind the scene, React is being implemented in the front end. In the back end, we have generated that URL, and that we have given to the React, and React they could able to render, they could able to get the image from the link, and they could able to render that particular image. Okay, now I have to just get into the the image. I'll just take the reference of, I'll say here return, I will say image response, and I'll say here dot. We have many options here. You can see we have get results. Okay, if you want multiple get results, I'll say here get result. Okay, and then I will just get into, I'll say dot, we have get output, which will give you image, and but that image, because right now we are going to use either Postman tool or Insomnia, the REST client tools to check our APIs, for which I want it in the form of URL. We have an option here, get the URL, which will be based on string. Okay, we could able to get it. I'll just click on this, save this. This is all we have to do it. Okay, so this is a plain query, a text based query my client will enter, and now using the OpenAI image model, I have to pass that query. Directly string query I cannot pass to this particular method. It is expecting me to wrap this string based query into image prompt object, for which I just have to define this in as a image prompt bean or an object, and that is what I have to pass here, and it will give you a image response. From the image response, I should be able to generate the a string type of URL. If you click that, you will be able to see this. Okay, I would like to save this and let's go back and run this application. By default, Spring Boot would be running in 8080 port number. Okay. Okay, let me just open the Postman tool here, and it's a GET request. Okay, localhost, and I'll be just getting it 8080, and the endpoint which we have here, let me just get the endpoint. Alright, if I have to go to my endpoints, these are the endpoints I have to access. I will take this, get back here and just try to access this. Okay, fine. And if I just also have to add the query parameter, right, it's not the form data. I'll just go to my, let me just delete this. Okay, I would like to delete this. If I have to go back to my parameters, query parameter is what I am expecting there, right. So if I have to go back here, query is what I have given here. You can see we do have a query, that's what we have to pass. I'll just take this, okay, and get back to the Postman tool. Any of the client you want, you can choose. I'll just add this key here, and now I would like to just hit any prompt. Okay, so maybe here I'll say generate an image of, or maybe I'll say here Superman writing Java code, right. This is the prompt I have given, and I would like to just click on this, send. Okay, it is taking some time. It should be giving you the response. Okay, we have got this, right. I'll just click and say follow this link. Okay, let me just go back to this response, and if I have to go back, it will give you an option to follow this link. I'll say here, and okay, see, we could able to get one Superman writing the Java code. That's the image. And if you want this image to be of your own customized, maybe you want it to be a specific size, you want it to be HD, you want however you want, for that also you can add the code. Quickly, if I have to go back here, and if I have to just get back to my application, and here guys, in the image prompt you can add, if I just have to say here new, I'll say image prompt. Okay, image prompt, we can add two things in the constructor of this image prompt. Number one, just a query. Number two, you can also add the image options. Image options in sense you can specify, maybe you want this image to be of a better quality, maybe you have some own requirement, custom requirement. Based on that also you can add it here, right. So I'll just click on this, and I'll just add, maybe I'll just do one thing, let me just close this, it's not needed. I'll just go back here and say here, okay, I can add the image options. See here, we are getting already an option of image options. Fine. Now I'll say here maybe open APIs image options. I will say here dot builder, and now you can just give the options here dot, and whatever you want, height you want, maybe the quality how you want, maybe I want it to be of I'll say here HD, right, and I'll say here dot height, how much is the height you want, maybe 1024, and how much is the width you want. You can be more specific, right. So I'll say here maybe I'll just go back and say width 1024, and similar to this, whatever your custom requirements, that much you can just add it. Okay, you can just keep on adding this, right. The other requirements based on this, the style also you can specify. Maybe there are two types of styles. One is maybe a natural, and let me just add the style also here. I'll say natural style, and now based on this I would like to just say dot build. Okay, so this time I'm not just passing the query, also I'm specifying my own requirement. This whatever image would be generated, it should be of high quality, it should be high definition, of a specific size, It should be very natural, and you can keep on adding the other methods and you can be more precise. The more better prompt you give it to the LLMs, the better result you will be getting it. Okay. Now again, I'll just stop this application and rerun this application and get back here. Application is deployed, and I'll just go back and make a call. It could be maybe Superman. This time I'll just go with Batman, right? I'll say here maybe Batman, or maybe Spider-Man writing this code. Okay, Spider-Man writing Java code. I'll just go back and hit this button. See, it should take some time because it is generating an image. It is taking some time. All right. Okay, I'll just follow this link. Now you can see, guys, Spider-Man writing the Java code you could able to get, and this is based on the size you have specified. Right now you can see this is a Postman tool, and that's what we had done in the other application which we had deployed at the beginning of this session, which is the e-commerce application. If you just add front end to it, you will have good looks and feels from the application, and you will be able to get that better. Fine. Now let's quickly go and see for the describing. We will just write one more API which can just describe this image. Okay. All right, I'll just go back here. We will be taking a string as an input. I'll say here, let's write one more API. One more API I will write. This API I will just quickly bind this to post request this time, because I'm going to accept one image, right? I'll just bind this to post request, and I'll say here API. Okay, I'll say here describe. That's the endpoint I've given. Okay, I'll just import this. All right, let me just add the shortcuts here. It should be able to import. Let me just recreate this. I'll say post mapping, and then I will just add the endpoints. Okay. All right. Okay. This setup, the components which we have kept here is little new at this position. Okay. Let's go back and add this API. It's the one endpoint, and then we do have maybe I'll say it as describe. Okay. I'll say describe. Fine. And now let's go with string, and I'll say here describe the image quickly. Describe. See, we have a very short limited time here, and we have to discuss so many things. This is this is a model wherein we can explore so many things. Even 1-2 day of entire training would not be sufficient. It's a very huge, and so many features they have added which we can integrate in our applications and make our application more interesting, right? Now I'll just go here and say a few things I'll accept here. One is the query. Okay. And apart from that, I would also like to accept one image. That image, I'll say here request param. Okay, it will be in the form of file. Which file? What's the type? I'll just say here multi. I'll say here multi part. Okay, multi part file is what I'm going to use here. I'll say here maybe file. Two things we are expecting this time. One is the query what you want, and one more is file, the image. I'll say describe this image, something like this. Okay. Now I'll not be using this. This is to generate the image. I have to ask my LLM to generate a text based on the image. Okay. So whatever implementation we have here, I'll just okay. I'll just go here and describe what I wanted. If I have to just come back here and remove all of this, okay, whatever code we have here. All right, I will just take this everything which is not required for us, and this is also not required for us for now. And I may have to generate the, I just have to use, okay, allow me a minute. a few key bits have been pressed here. Okay, now it's fine. Okay, great. All right, we have an extra. Okay, go back here. Yeah, it looks fine. Let's go back and add this, and we may have to return some response. That response we will see some string type of response, what we will be returning to. Okay, now I'll just go back here and write a code which is responsible to describe the image. So we have used one model. This OpenAI image model could be used in all will be working with the DALL-E 3 and could be able to generate an image based on the prompt you have given, and different ways we have seen. Now I would like to use this chat client to interact with the LLM and to just tell, please describe this particular image on this. Okay, let's go back here. I will just add this here and say dot. We have multiple methods. We have a prompt here. Okay, we have prompt dot prompt, wherein we can just enter the prompt in multiple ways. You can just enter this query also directly, and this time we are going to add the image and query. That means a data from the user that can be represented in a way. If you just go to the dot prompt here, we should be having the chat client dot prompt. We should be having an option wherein I'll say here dot, you have an option to add the system input. That means as a developer, if you want to add something additional information, that you can add, and you can add the user information also. That means this time we are getting two things from the user. One is the file, which is an image, other thing is the query. These things I can add in the user. Okay, I can represent these things as a user, and here if you have to see about the user also, we can implement this in multiple ways. You can add just a string. That means whatever my user is entering the string, you can add the resource. You can also implement that using the consumer functional interface. I would like to just click on this and represent the user here. What and all my user is going to add here, that's what I'm going to say. Maybe I'll say here image or whatever reference variable, or maybe the reference variable itself I'll say here USR user. Okay, and functional interface I'll be implementing using the lambda expression. So user, I would like to represent what user is entering by invoking one method called as user method, where I'll just do the representation of the user. Okay, I'll say here USR dot, we have here text. Okay, user is entering one text here, which is our query. I would like to just take this and add it. Okay, this is one representation from the user. I'll say dot, we should be having media. Okay, I'll just go with the mime type. Okay, let me just add mime type. Okay, and let me just click on this. I'll say dot. Okay, what is the value? All right, I'll just maybe we have multiple options here also. If I go with the mime, we should be having so many options. Mime type utils we have. I'll say dot, which is the image. What's the type of the image? The image which I am going to add into my API will be of maybe JPEG. You can add based on your own requirement. Okay, okay, I'll just go with this. I have added this. Okay, now I will also represent the okay, I'll just go back the file, because if I have to go to this media, let me just copy this so that I can keep it. I'll just copy this from here, and again I'll just invoke this particular method. I'll say dot, I'll say media. You can say, you can specify the representation of the image and also the actual image, the resource. Okay, I would like to click on this. I will add this, and also now I'll represent this image. From where to represent the image? This is the file. I will just take from here and get back here. I'll say dot get the resource. That's the resource type of data which we have to give here. Fine now. Okay, 1 2 3, and now I would like to say dot. We have an option of making a call, and now I'll say dot. We can just okay, I'll say here call, and again I'll say here dot get the content which is of string type. Okay, This is making of call to my API. Again, it is giving me a response. Directly I can just return from here. I'll say I'm just returning from here. Okay, so I hope I'm closing properly. If there are anything, all right, we are opening this, and this is closure of this, and this is closure of this part. All right, okay, this is the closure of this, and this should be the closure. Okay, I'll just do one thing, one extra bracket we have here, and now if I have to save, okay, let me just add this. It's fine now. Okay, do I have to add one thing extra? No, it's not required. Somewhere the closure is the return. Okay, the spelling, there is an error with respect to the spelling. Yeah, all fine now. Okay, now if you just go through this particular endpoint, guys, you should be able to get the description of this image. Whatever code we are writing, we are just making a calls. We are just making a call to the APIs which has already been coded. A predefined implementation which is already being done, we are just making call to it. We are not just writing our own logic. Whatever it is expecting, we just using those predefined implementation. Right now, whatever you are seeing, it could be different going forward. As in when the version changes, the interfaces, the classes, the method calls could be different. Okay, take it in the general way, because again, it's not needed for a developer to remember those methods. IDs only will suggest you, and no, going forward it could be changed also. You should be knowing at the abstraction level. As and when there is a new version, the implementation also might get changed. All right, I would like to now again deploy this application, guys. This is the endpoint. I have to make a call. It is a post request. Okay, I'll just go and implement this. Let me go to my Postman tool. Okay, and all right, let me just localhost. I'll just go here, and it is a post request. I'll say localhost. Okay, and let me just go back here and add this. Okay, and now I would like to just go to my body. Form data is a type, query is the text type, and here the value. Guys, if you go to the query also, we will have form data, right? We have an option here. Text file, file is there. File is what I want to add. Select the files. That's the input we are giving. We have two images. Example, this is the image I have taken. I have selected some image, and I want my API to respond. It should describe this. If I just click on this, oops, we do have an error here. Okay, some mistakes. It should not create any problem. Let me just go back here. Yep, I hope you are reaching out to the proper, because on the console we could not able to see. There might be, okay, string type, post mapping, it's fine. It's a multi-part file, it's fine. Request param, string type query, and it's fine. There is no problem here. Let me just redeploy. Okay, I'll just go back. This is fine. Let me just go back to the Postman tool, localhost, API. Okay, describe. Okay, no problem. Form data, it's a query. All right, internal error it's showing, but on the console I could not able to see any type of error, because it's looking fine, and the endpoints, I hope it is right. Okay, I would like to just redeploy this application and try to reach out to this endpoint. Okay, get back to this, and we do have this endpoint here. Let me make a call, and we are adding this image. It should not create any problem. The body, internal error, the path API describe. If I have to go back and stop this, save this, oops, it is describe. That's the endpoint we have here. It's a write, post mapping, describe image, it's a query, it is a multi-part file. There is no problem there also. That should not create any problem. Chat client, prompt, user I have specified, the text also, media type, it is no problem there. Okay, let me just deploy once again. I'll make a call to the other API and check if there is a proper response. If I have to just go back here, okay, to this, and if I have to just again click on this, it is generating the image. It should able to also describe the image. Okay, it could be sometimes the size also, guys. All right. Okay, see, we could able to get this, and if I have to click on this, we could able to get this image. This is a different image because anyway, one more time I'm making call to it, so there is no problem in the application part. And here if I go, yeah, 8080, and it's an API, there is no problem there. That's a form data. I'll just go back to my file, select this, add any one image, okay, which is of less size. Sometimes it could be about the size also. Okay, now if I have to make again a call, again there is an internal error. Okay, maybe what is the name I have given here? Let me just cross check. If I have to go to my application, all right, the file, that's what I have given here, my bad. I was just adding this and representing that in the form of file. The image is represented in this multi-part file, the reference is file here, and I'm just passing some different, okay, that's all, my bad. I just go back to this and add this here and make a call. Oops, it's a bad request again. Form data, body, all right. Image, we have file, and let me add the file, select the files. I will add this file. It should be able to take a post request. This is the correct one. Form data, and we have added this. It should not be a bad request. Okay. I'll just go back. Maybe I will just add the value here. Okay, and now I'll just make a request to my body file, and I'll pass this image. Yes, you could able to see, guys, my bad. The mistake which I was doing is, it was file here, the name I had given file, and image I was passing as the query. One silly mistake, and then there are two parameters here, and that's what we could able to pass. Okay, now you can see the image shows a person focused on coding at the desk with the dual monitors, exact the same description you can expect here. Okay, these are just two small models which we have implemented. There could be voice, there could be many things which could be implemented using the Spring AI part. Okay, usually in our live courses we go little deeper and deeper. We do understand about the RAG implementation, we do understand about how exactly that could be implemented, and vector databases, simple store vector database, PG store, embeddings, what exactly happens behind the scene, how it could able to generate the other parts also there. But we had a limited time here, very short time, and so much things to explain. But I hope you got one idea that using the abstraction, using the implementation which has already been made, we just have to make a call to the methods and the classes and the beans which has already been implemented at the right time, right place. We just have to make a call to those APIs. That's how we have to do this implementation. Fine. So that's all from my end, guys. I have taken little extra time because the implementation, even though it's just two APIs we have implemented, but that's how it took a lot of time. If there was a time, maybe we could have implemented few more features live in this class. Okay, so thank you everyone for making it, and it's time for quiz and see how many of you have an idea about this Spring Boot or Spring AI framework. Okay, thank you all.
Okay, so that was this session, and now I hope it makes some sense. How do we integrate your application with AI models, or how do we use it? Okay, cool. So we are going to start the quiz after a small break. Now the quiz questions are based on what you have learned from this session, and how to join the quiz and everything. You'll get the details in next few minutes. Also, once we finish the quiz, we want to show you one more platform. So in Terisco, we are working on 2 products now, which will help learners to learn whatever they want to learn. So one is the quiz application which we are going to use to play the quiz, and second is the a tool to learn with the help of AI. And I'm excited to show you that. But before that, let's take a break, and we'll continue after 5 minutes. So come back and we'll play a quiz game. Okay, we are back and it's time to start with the quiz. So let me know in the chat if you're excited for the quiz. Okay. So here we go. I'm sharing the screen. So how do we join the quiz? It's very simple. If you can see the screen, you can use your mobile phone to scan this QR code, or you can go to this page, which is tux.terisco.com/join, and it will ask you for the code. This is the code which you can see on the screen. It's 104545. So scan the QR code and join the quiz. And use your real name, because if you win the quiz, you need to have a real name and you have to take the screenshot of your phone. I mean the last screen, where you will see the leaderboard of the top 10. Take the screenshot and send it. So we'll wait on this screen. Okay, don't enter the code, enter your name. Once you join, enter your name. So I'll be waiting for next 1 minute for you to join. I'm also sharing the link in the chat. So people who just joined, how do we join this quiz? It's very simple. You scan this QR code from your phone, and then it will ask you for a name. Enter your real name. If the scanning is not working, go to this page. The link is mentioned on the screen and enter this code. Can't do that. We don't have this option. But that sounds like a good idea. So this is our product, so we can modify it as needed. So once we reach 100, let's start. It's 85 done. And we are testing this app with this crowd for the first time. So max we tested was around 50. So again, people just joined. You can scan the QR code from your phone and join the quiz. Make sure that you enter your real name. Six more to go, then we'll start. 5 to go. 4. Yeah. So you will not see the question on your screen. I have to start the quiz. Okay, so we got enough participants and we can start the quiz now. So I will click on the present question and then you will see the questions on your screen. So here we go. Starting the quiz now. So the first question coming on your screen, everyone. So there will be a delay between there's a delay of 15-20 seconds on YouTube, so you might see the question earlier on your phone. Okay, so which annotation is used to create RESTful controller in Spring Boot? And the answer is REST controller. Let's go for the next one. Next question. Two, one, time up. Yeah, because of the streaming, you will see the delay. Also, it's not just about the right answer, it's also about the speed. So based on how fast you answer and is it a correct answer, you will get the points. Okay, next question coming on your screen. Okay, before that we have a leaderboard and let's see who is doing well. So till this point we got Abdullah on top and we got Ramanathan, Devarupa, we got Mr. Mishra, okay, very difficult first name, Nikhil, Vishal, Shanawaz, Shalini, Ajay, and Anurag. Okay, so this is only top 10. Let's go for the next question. So third question on your screen. So let me give you a hint. It has to do with the Tomcat. Okay, so the answer is 8080 because that's what Tomcat runs by default on. Next one. Was the main purpose of service annotation is to define the business logic components. Great. Also, if you just join this session on YouTube and if you want to join the quiz, you can go on. You can see on the top there's a link mentioned which is tux.talisker.com/join. It will ask you for the code. Just mention that here. Okay, and now it's time for leaderboard and let's see do we have any changes. So looks like Abdullah is still on top. Then we got Nikhil coming up here. There have been some changes in this. I think Rohit, Vishal, new entries, Vishnu, new entry, Praveen, new entry. Okay, looks good. Let's go for the next question. And time up. A deep learning model trained on large data set. That's correct. Next one. Five, four, three, two, one. Time up. And it's retrieval augmented generation. And it's time for the leaderboard. Let's see. Any changes here? Abdullah is still doing good. Okay, looks like Abdullah has attended the session properly. Then we got any new changes here? Dhananjay looks like came up in the list here. I think Prashant is also the entry here. Okay, time for the next question. Okay, for the DALI model, it's this. Okay, whatever the biggest option is, you choose that and it will be correct. That's how we get this quiz. Great. Next one. What interface does Spring AI provides for simple prompt response interaction? Let's see. And time up, it is chat client. Again, these things have been discussed in the session. And it's time for the leaderboard. Okay, do we have any changes? Looks like Abdullah made mistake there, and it's Devarupa who is at the first position. Any new entry? Lalit Kumar entered in the chat. That's what I can say on the leaderboard. We got Amar in the leaderboard, who's new. Great, great. So we got 4 more questions to go, and then we can decide who's the winner is, or the platform will decide. And before we do that, again, I just wanted to pitch the course here. So we are coming up with a new course. If you can see the course link in the description. This will be a live course starting from 28th July, which is in 2 days. We are going to start this batch, and it will make sure that you can work on the enterprise project in the Java ecosystem, and also use you will also come to know how to use AI tools like Spring AI and other stuff. For more details, check out the description. There's a link for the page, and you will get all the information there. Okay, time for the 9th question. So what does the Spring AI prompt template help you to do? Okay. No, 40K price will not be the course. You will find the course, the prices in the description. Check out the description of this video. You will get the information. What are the different prices? Okay, question number 10 coming on your screen. What does the image model interface represent in Spring AI? And time up. It's abstraction for image generation model. Perfect. So we have done with the 10 question, and let's see the leaderboard again. Okay, so for the course information, again, you will find all the link in description. There's also a phone number using which you can connect. Okay, let's see the leaderboard. Any changes? Devarupa is on top. Prashant is chasing there. There's not much difference between Prashant and Shalini. I think second and third prices are almost same. Both will get the IntelliJ IDEA Ultimate Version license. And the first winner will get 5,000 INR plus the IntelliJ IDEA license. Okay, but we still have 2 more questions to go. So Devarupa, if you're enjoying, there are 2 more questions. Okay, and 11th question on your screen. And time up. Okay, so which Spring AI class allows customization of image generation settings? So it's image options. And it's fun, you can basically set the size of your image. You can set the quality of the image. And you might be saying, okay, why I need a standard quality image? We'll always get high definition. See, every request, you have to pay for it. Okay, so if you need a high-end image or hi-fi image, you have to pay for it. And that's why sometimes it's good to set the image options. And the last question on your screen. Naresh says, I lost by refresh. Is it? Which method we should use to call an image model with a prompt and custom options? It's called by passing the image prompt, and inside that you can pass the prompt and the image options. And those are the 12 questions. And now we will be showing you the leaderboard. But I want to know from you who you think is winning this. So in the last leaderboard, it was Devarupa. Do you think any of that second or third person went on top? Okay, Abdullah says Devarupa. Abdullah, you were doing good. Vishal says, nice platform, loved it. Thank you so much, Vishal. This is the in-house product which we have. Proud to say that. And the development team did very well to build application where we can have 100 users playing this quiz concurrently. It's not an easy task. If you're thinking this is just a quiz platform where you're playing, that's not a normal quiz platform, because to have interactivity like this where everyone participates at the same time, there are a lot of things goes behind this. Okay, so before we see the leaderboard, we should have a round of applause for our development team. Good job, Dev. Thank you so much, Karthik, for the super chat. And now let's see the leaderboard. And here we go. Okay, very close. Shalini, very, very close. Okay, so, for a second I thought it will jump. So the winner for this game is Devarupa. Congratulations. And the second winner is Shalini D, and the third winner is Prashant. Now, how do you claim this? It's very simple. You send us an email on connect@telesco.com with the screenshot. Screenshot is very, very important. You will find the email in the description. And also, there's a form. There's a form link in the description if you want to share your feedback, what else you wanted to see on this page. And don't go anywhere. I want to show you one more platform which we are working on, and it will surely help you. So this quiz is for trainer help, and the next platform which I'm going to show you is for your help. Okay, so once again, winners, top 3 winners, please take the screenshot and share it on the email which is mentioned in the description, also shared in the chat by Harsh Rawal. And do check that. And send the email. And you will hear from us the next 2 days. Okay. And yeah, that's about the quiz platform. This is the final one. Thank you so much. And now I want to talk about the other platform which we have. So let me go to the Telesco homepage. I don't know how many of you visited this page before. So when you go to Telesco homepage, we have this try our AI tutor. Okay, so yeah. So you can see we have an option of try our AI tutor. When you click on this, now basically we are building this for you to see in future, the learning will be going in hand between a trainer and a AI model. Okay, so it's not completely trainer or it's not completely AI. So we have to merge these two. And that's what I can see in the future. Now, how do we do this? Nowadays, what we do is, if you want to learn something, basically you go to ChatGPT or whatever AI chat you go to, and basically you talk about certain things. Uh, let's say if you want to learn about inheritance or polymorphism or maybe Spring AI, you enter a topic and you learn a particular topic. But let's say if you want to achieve something, let's say if you want to be a Java developer, if you want to be into DevOps engineer, you want to be AI engineer, at this point, you can't simply search each topic online and learn about it. So you need a place where you specify, hey, this is what I want to learn, and a place should give you the entire roadmap, not a YouTuber like me who post roadmap videos, and it should give you the entire roadmap. But then this roadmap should not be static for everyone. Otherwise, we could have simply built a website where we could have shown you all the roadmaps, just copy paste. Because the learning is different for everyone, right? Everyone comes from a different place. And that's why this, what do you say, personalized learning is very important. And this is what we're going to provide you here. So first of all, I'm going to log in, and the beautiful thing is I forgot my credentials. So I'm just going to do, okay, just a second. And okay, so I have logged in to my account here. Let me reduce my size, the screen size. Okay, so this is the platform. So let's say if you want to learn something. So it's very easy. You just go to home and click on generate your path. Now what you want to learn. So basically in the initial time, we kept an option where you can learn anything. But then we wanted to make sure that we verify each thing, what we are sharing with you, and help you in a long run. So we have kept it limited to these things now. Example, let's say if you want to learn CoJava, just for an example. And if you select that and click on generate my learning path for CoJava, now there are two options here. One is start from scratch. Now it will give you the entire roadmap, but then it is not personalized. If you want to make it personalized, you have to click here and it will ask you some questions. So some basic questions just to understand where you are, and based on I'm randomly selecting it. I'm not sure which is the right answer. You know, suddenly I started reading question even if I say that. Okay, so I scored 43%, answer 3 out of 7 correctly. Now based on my knowledge, it will create a roadmap for me where I did well, where I not did well. And you can see it is generating the roadmap for us. And that's my roadmap, okay? So it will focus on certain topics based on the answers there. Now, we only went for 7 questions, but we are thinking of increasing the question because 7 questions are not enough to understand someone's capability or where they are. But we are still making this product better. So as you can see, if you want to learn this topic, so we got these subsections, we can click on start learning, and for each topic you can start doing this. And at this point, this is released. You can try it out. You can create 3 courses. So let's say if I want to understand input output, I can click on start learning. And okay, taking some time. And every time you do this, basically OpenAI is charging us. And there gone my few cents. Okay, taking much more time than we thought. Okay, and we got our page here. Okay, this is one content. So you got the theory, you got an examples, and so we are also planning to have videos here. So with content, there will be videos as well. But as I mentioned before, it's AI and human will work together. So you will see a human video here. Do we have human video? No. And based on the content, there will be quiz as well. Okay, so I want you to check this out. So how do we go here? It's very simple. Go to therisco.com. There should be an option of AI tutor. Click on that, create your account, and get started. So to start with, we only providing 3 courses for free. Maybe in future we'll try to monetize it, but at this point we don't have that plan. So I have enrolled for 2 courses. I can create 1 more course, and then later I have to pay my developers to give me more access. Okay, cool. So that was the demo. How was it, everyone? Nice. Oh, thank you so much, Devrupa. Even if you say it's not a good idea, you will still receive your prize. Cool. Okay, so thank you so much everyone for joining. Check out our courses, check out the website for more details. Yeah, there should be e-free certificate as well. Okay, we'll think about it. Oh, Lakshmi Mandala, thank you so much for joining again. You were in one of the batch, if I'm not wrong, a few years ago. Okay, so thank you so much everyone. See you in the next live, and we are going to do that soon.